And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting Australian Indian Radio's daily life update. And it's a beautiful day out there. As we know, this is the a very cool part of the year, as you can see. But it is a clear day, very, very clear day out there today. So the maximum today is 21, sunny with a chance of 0% rain, and Brisbane area light winds becoming 15 to 25 knots in the morning, then becoming light in the late evening. Fire danger still remains very high, so please do take care and the precaution. Sun protection is recommended from 10 a.m. till about 1:30 p.m. And the UV index is predicted to reach about 4, which is moderate. So, when you look at outside, it is just plain and lovely and beautiful. And as we know, today, the 24th of June already. It's another 6 days for end of financial year. So are you prepared for end of financial year? Don't forget that this year you will have to also account for the JobKeeper payments as well. So there's a lot that needs to be done, and I know that everyone's very, very busy at this point in time trying to get everything ready to get into the tax time. But let's look at some of the news that's coming in. And of course, the COVID-19 update. The update so far is that the confirmed cases so far in Australia, 7,492, and recovery is 6,915 with 102 deaths. Worldwide, the confirmed cases are 9.18 million. So that's quite a large number. And 4.6 million have recovered. So about 50%. And the death rate remains at 475 K. So that is a big number when you look at the numbers on a global scale. So it is a little bit alarming to see all that happening out there. But what do we do? That's the way that things are at the moment. But when we look at Queensland, we haven't done too bad. We have done actually really, really well. So no new confirmed cases, and total 1,066 confirmed cases. 2 active cases remain, and 1,053 patients have recovered, and 334,000 tests have been conducted. So when we talk about the tests, there's a big uproar happening in Victoria, as people are making their way and they're rushing in to get their tests done, and they can't get the tests done in time. So let's have a very, very quick look at what's happening in Victoria in relation to the tests.
Let's get straight to the news now. And the surge in coronavirus cases across Victoria has prompted thousands of people to flock to COVID testing sites, creating delays in excess of 4 hours. Today, Melbourne reporter Christina Hearn is at the Northlands Shopping Centre. And Chris, what's happening there now?
Well, Ali, I'm right in one of the hot spots, and I'll just show you, because this testing clinic isn't even open yet, but we've already got cars lining up for people to be tested. These people are obviously trying to beat the queues like we saw yesterday. People waiting for more than 4 hours to be tested, others turned away when testing sites closed early simply because of the sheer volume of cars lining up, snaking around shopping centres. The Victorian Premier apologised for the delay, and last night the Health Minister Jenny Mikakos tweeted that more drive-through testing sites will be opened this week. This testing blitz, of course, comes after we experience a surge in coronavirus cases here in Victoria, and it seems to have prompted some to go out once again and buy toilet paper. This is Vision in Taylors Hill in Melbourne's west. You can see people lining up, and in a real concerning sign that panic buying might be re-emerging in Victoria. 30 Coles and Woolworths across the state did in fact run out of toilet paper. And of course, as New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian yesterday warned people, organisations not to mingle with citizens of Victoria. Well, check out this sign. It is telling people, if they are thinking of going to Melbourne, think again to keep loved ones safe. So certainly anxiety is rising about the cases here in Victoria. All eyes will be on those numbers when they are released today. Ali?
Yeah, we will be watching closely and we'll bring them to you live. Thanks, Chris.
Lined up for a test and it's still dark. We'll go back to Christine later. In the latest twist in the AFL's COVID saga, Essendon player Conor McKenna has returned a negative test. The club releasing a statement saying the defender tested negative despite 2 positive swab tests on Friday and Saturday. His teammate James Stewart has been sent into quarantine after coming into close contact with the 24-year-old. Big footy crowds are returning to Adelaide Oval, while pubs and restaurants will be allowed to double customer numbers as South Australia accelerates its lifting of restrictions. Nine's Keziah Sullivan is at Adelaide Oval. Keziah, good morning to you. There are talks of holding the AFL Grand Final there now.
Yes, good morning, Carl. I reckon there's got to be a few jealous Victorians out there this morning with news that 25,000 fans will be allowed into Adelaide Oval on Monday. Of course, we had a test run a couple of weeks ago. 2,000 people were allowed into Adelaide Oval for the showdown. And with that success, the state government has lifted restrictions from Monday. It'll also be easier to have a beer at the bar from Monday, with the state government lifting the limit to 1 person per 2 square metres, meaning double the people will be allowed into our bars and restaurants. Going to a gym class will also be easier, with more people allowed into gym classes and dance classes as well. But it's not all good news. The Premier saying he won't hesitate to keep the border closed to Victorians if the COVID situation isn't under control by July 20. That's next month. So, Carl...
So there you are, ladies and gentlemen. Victorian borders would remain closed, and as we know, Queensland is taking a very, very strong stance on that as well. When we look at the balance, when people talk about the balance between the economic recovery and also when we're looking at, with our health concerns as well, what comes first? Do we put our health first in place, or we did just look at economic recovery? So, the danger in opening the borders and easing the restrictions too early is what we have seen in Victoria. Can't believe it. They're rushing to get those toilet paper again. Some supermarkets already running out. And we thought that we had gone past all that, and that all these shops had ample supply of toilet paper. But there you go. Victorians are doing that again. Well, let's look at the Queensland and see what's happening here. In that historic town of Winton, where Qantas was launched. So, let's look at what our Premier has to say in her message when she was there. And they would be launching that light and sound show in Winton.
Open up Queensland for Queenslanders, and we're good to go. I want to make sure that Queenslanders understand how important it is to get out here and support the Outback. I'm also pleased today to announce some additional funding for the Outback, and I know the mayors will be happy for this news, but we are actually going to be providing $3 million for Outback tourism operators as part of our Outback tourism initiative to try and get even more infrastructure and support to our tourism operators that have been doing it tough. This is 5-star glamping. Out in the Outback, you can come here, you can look at the stars at night, and then of course you can go and explore dinosaur trails during the day, and of course the home of Qantas, which has a brand new light installation show that begins tonight. And we'll be seeing a preview of that, and we want to see as many people as possible drive out here to the Outback. Calls are coming in fast. There is so much to see and do. There are so many towns right across the Outback, and we want Queenslanders to come and show their support. Well, if you want to have the best experience possible, you should come out here, because what you're going to see is definitely going to draw you out here. We are going to continue to support our tourism sector. We're going to continue to make sure that we give grants to where it's needed the most. Queensland, it's not just a holiday, it's a great adventure.
And Queensland is a great adventure. And if you haven't been to Longreach, I'd say that please do go. It is wonderful there, and we've been to that museum, where Qantas originated. So it was, Qantas Queensland and Northern Territory Air Service. That's what Qantas stood for. And, you know, there's so many historical things there out there. It is wonderful to go there and reconnect with our history and our past and see how this nation has been built, and you know the vision of some of the people out there who had done so much out to and the Premier talked about the light show. Let's see what the people of the town have to say about the light show.
The light show has been a project we're incredibly proud of. Nobody else has projected this story in a place of national heritage on a canvas like this. The Qantas Founders Museum, we receive about 50,000 visitors per year. We're expecting at least a 5% increase on that visitation because of an attraction such as this. So by default, you've got a nighttime presentation, which means people have to spend another night in our wonderful towns and our communities. So that flow-on effect from attractions such as this is immense. Tourism is such a vital part of sustaining small communities and towns in the outback, so it's absolutely imperative we're able to recover.
And as you can see that it is going to be spectacular. There's wonderful light show there. I was just wondering how they got a jumbo out there. Because last time when we were there, we only saw the little planes. But anyway, it is wonderful to see that there's a light show and everything happening there. Do go out there and support. Queensland is open for Queenslanders. So we are a big state. So there's quite a lot of things that we can do out together with the family. But as we know, if you try and make a booking right now for any of the events, you know, it's very hard because it's bookings are not open. You have to call the venues directly and see. There's still a little bit of uncertainty, but you know, do look around. There are many options that are open. We might be discussing that soon on here to say, you know, which are the places that you can actually go to, because I know there are some frustrated people who call us that they've been trying to make bookings for some of the resorts and they just can't make the bookings because, you know, the booking line, even though they are advertised, their website says so, and even the Premier man said that, you know, go out to Alley Beach and that way. But if you try and book that, I know that the airlines, the flights were open, but people could not find bookings for the venues or hotels or where to stay. So that's what's happening out there at the moment. Now, the coronavirus support program, how long is going to last? What is going to happen? Let's have a quick look.
And with less than 14 weeks to go until the JobKeeper scheme comes to an end, the government has hinted at a new wave of economic lifelines to help struggling industries afloat. But not everyone will be included, with assistance packages likely to be aimed only at the hardest hit sectors. Treasurer Josh Frydenberg joins us now from Camberwell in Melbourne. Treasurer, thanks for your time this morning. We heard overnight that Australia has retained...
Nice to be with you, Ali.
We heard overnight that Australia has retained its AAA credit rating, one of only 10 countries to do so. Does that mean that there will be money come September when JobKeeper ends?
Well, the announcement by the credit rating agency Moody's is a real vote of confidence in the Australian economy. They have appraised our effective and proactive policy making, as well as acknowledging the resilience of the Australian economy. And Moody's announcement follow announcements by both Fitch and Standard & Poor's, two other credit rating agencies who have affirmed Australia's AAA credit rating. So we continue to provide the economic support that is required for the economy at this very difficult time. Some $260 billion, Ali, and 3.5 million workers are benefiting from JobKeeper, as well as hundreds of thousands of other businesses are benefiting from our other programs. We'll continue to provide the support that is necessary, and we are undertaking that review of JobKeeper as we speak.
Well, we just heard from Carl's chat there that, you know, businesses need certainty and they need it now. What does happen in September? What industries will you continue to support?
Well, the first thing to acknowledge is that some sectors will recover faster than others, and of course the social distancing rules that are being eased around the country. Obviously Victoria has been an exception in recent days, but that is seeing more people get back to work in the hospitality sector, in the retail sector and other sectors that have been hard hit. When it comes to the aviation sector and the tourism sector, as long as those international borders are closed, those sectors will continue to do it tough. We have announced a package of support for the construction industry, particularly for new home builds as well as substantial rebuilds. We are working on a package of support for the arts sector. We've made an announcement about the extension of the instant asset write-off, which will support small businesses and continued economic activity. So we're looking at a host of options across the economy.
When are you going to give us the detail, though? Because, I mean, a regional tourism operator in Victoria, they can't wait another month to find out what, if any, help you're going to be offering.
Well, the reality is the JobKeeper program is legislated to the end of September, and that is in place now. And that is providing payments of some $1,500 a fortnight to 3.5 million workers, supporting nearly 1 million businesses. That's on top of the cash flow boost, Ali, which is a $30 billion program assessed on the size of a particular business's payroll. As well as an extra $750 payments that are going out to households in July. So that program runs out to the end of September, the JobKeeper program, and we'll make an announcement about future supports on the 23rd of July.
I mean, we're looking at what's happening in Victoria now. Do you fear a second wave, and so contingency plans for that to extend JobKeeper?
Well, what we're seeing in Victoria highlights the fact that we're not through the coronavirus as yet. There is still a long way to go. It is a difficult time, but I know that our health authorities, both national and at a state level, are working diligently to ensure that we can contain that spread of the virus and restrict the number of community transmissions. I mean, the reality is Australia has been ahead of the world in putting in place health measures that have helped flatten that curve. I mean, we went in March from having more than 20% increases in cases a day to now having less than 0.5%. That has been a substantial progress, but what we have to continue to be is vigilant and patient. People need to download the app and to follow the health advice.
Right, well, I think people just need certainty at this time. We're looking forward to hearing that and also to see what happens with JobSeeker post-September. Treasurer, thanks for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
And thank you very much. And that's a wonderful news there. Of course, with the courtesy of today of Channel 9, we brought to you that news. And it is good to see that, what the government has been able to do and achieve in those times. But moving ahead still remains a bit of a challenge, what's going to happen. And we will be bringing on the show very soon ST once again from PRD, as the new figures have just come out. And it is very, very interesting. That will make a very interesting segment when we analyze the situation and what people said, what is actually happening on the ground, and what the research is saying there as well. You know, as we know, when we look at the researchers and the polls, they're only as good as the people who have been researched or who have been polled. But this report here is very, very comprehensive, and this quarter's report is out, and we will be discussing that in detail right here on this program with ST. Right now it's time for a commercial break.
ग्लोबनेट रियलिटी 1989 से लेकर अब तक का विश्वसनीय और माननीय ब्रिस्बेन का रियल एस्टेट एजेंट है। उषा चंद्रा, जो कि ग्लोबनेट की डायरेक्टर है, अपने ग्राहकों को ईमानदार और एथिक सर्विसेज देती हैं। अगर आप ब्रिस्बेन की प्रॉपर्टी में पूंजी लगाना चाहते हैं और आप चाहते हैं कि आपकी प्रॉपर्टी को प्रोफेशनली मैनेज किया जाए, तो आप आज ही कांटेक्ट कीजिए उषा चंद्रा को। लैंडलाइन नंबर है 38654466 और मोबाइल नंबर है 0419775416। और आप प्रॉपर्टी की अधिक जानकारी और करंट अपडेट्स के लिए हमारी वेबसाइट पे लॉगिन कर सकते हैं। हमारी वेबसाइट है www.globnetreality.com.au। ग्लोबनेट रियलिटी आपका अपना लोकल रियल एस्टेट एजेंट है। हमारा पता है ग्लोबनेट रियलिटी, शॉप नंबर 5, 2281 सैंडगेट रोड, बुंदल, क्वींसलैंड। ग्लोबनेट रियलिटी, रियल एस्टेट इज अवर वर्ल्ड।
And real estate is the world. And talking about the business and the business world, today we're going to talk about a couple who have been very successful. So Bob and Pravinita Pillai, congratulations on making it to the 6th year in the business together and growing and counting. So wonderful. Let's hear a message from Cornerstone Law Offices.
Hi. So it's Cornerstone's birthday today. 23rd of June, 6 years ago, we started this firm in a small office at home. and look where we are today. Happy birthday to Cornerstone, Bob.
And yeah, I would like to take this opportunity and thank all our referral partners, all the business to business. Without you guys, obviously we won't be here. So you know, our success is based to all our business referral partners, and also Prior.
Yep, our clients, most importantly our clients, and some of you are family, friends and acquaintances who've helped us be who we are and for the services we provide. And the other people who are important are our team, our Cornerstone family, who've made us the success that we are today. So from our family, thanking you all for being part of our journey, and here's to the journey ahead.
Thank you for your help and support.
Thank you to our clients for all your support over the years.
Thank you to our referral partners for all your continued support.
Thank you to our clients and referral partners for your ongoing support over the many years.
Thank you to our clients for all your continued support over the years.
Thank you to all our clients for your continued support.
Thanks to all our clients for your continued support, and to our referrers over the past few years.
Thank you to our valued clients for your support.
Thanks to all our valued clients.
And congratulations once again to Cornerstone Law Officers on achieving that milestones. There's been a long way to go yet, Bob and Prep, but wonderful to see the progress, and congratulations on that once again. And right now, a message from the Prime Minister.
Okay, very good. Grant, why don't you come over here? And Trevor, why don't you hop over there?
Right, yeah. Is everybody okay? Kick off? Yeah. Great. That's a yes. That's a thumbs up. Even better. Look, well, first of all, welcome to everybody, and particularly I want to acknowledge the Prime Minister of Australia, Scott Morrison, who's with us today. Minister Littleproud, who, on behalf of the region, I want to acknowledge as our Bushfire Recovery Minister at a federal level, and Fiona Cotvoice, who I work very closely with, and of course Trevor Hicks. Today's an important day, and I'll tell you why, because it's an opportunity for us to thank particularly our timber industry and the workforce, and Malcolm McComb and Cal Henry and the team here at Pentark and Anhui, who have turned this mill around during the toughest of times. And we are in the toughest of times. We're still in intense drought here in the southeast, and as Fiona gets around particularly, the feedback we're getting from the community is, you know, we're in tough times, we're resilient, we're positive, and we're going to stick together. And that comes through good community leadership, and I want to particularly acknowledge Fiona for that over the last 6 months in particular, by working alongside her through what has been without doubt the most trying and deepest and darkest of times. Our community's been through a lot, but what's brought people together is the way in which people are positive, resilient, and looking forward to the future. And I have one message today, particularly to the people of Eden Monaro as one of the state members in the region. And I've been in opposition and I've been in government, but let me tell you, the power of having someone who can be a decision maker as part of a government is what is really important. And particularly a government under Scott Morrison's leadership at a time when we are facing an incredibly powerful virus which could strike anyone down at any time. And we have seen complacency creep in. Yet at a local level, people are responding to the leadership that's been on display, because partisan politics has been pushed aside and everyone's come together. The Prime Minister's done an incredible job through the National Cabinet process to keep us all safe, keep our economy going as best it can. And I want to recognise that, I want to thank that on behalf of the local community. And I again want to reiterate the importance of electing Fiona to be a decision maker as part of a government. You know, if you reflect on some of the members past in Eden Monaro, both Labor and Liberal, Jim Snow, Gary Nairn, Mike Kelly, the most effective times they had was when they were elected as part of a government. particularly Gary Nairn under the Howard years, and what we saw through those years, and that strong leadership, you know, that's what, of course, is key to this by-election. So I'd urge everybody to reflect on that as they cast their vote, and the importance of supporting Fiona to be a decision maker, not someone down a corridor, you know, working out political games, but someone who was part of a team that is saving Australia from the most horrible of times. So on that.
So there were, ladies and gentlemen, the news, and of course under the Prime Minister's leadership, they want to go ahead and plan ahead as well. So let's hear from him.
Much to do. I want to commend you for your very strong local leadership across your community. And I remember when we caught up at the memorial service in Sydney, when we honoured those firefighters who'd fallen. And at that time we were working through the very real issue of small business grants, particularly across the fire-affected areas of the south coast of New South Wales and your electorate, not just of course there, but in the many other fire-affected parts. And you know, that program wasn't working. It wasn't delivering as much as we wanted it to. And together with the National Bushfire Recovery Agency and David Littleproud, we got that program.
So there you are, ladies and gentlemen, our Prime Minister, and of course reaching out to the communities when it is needed, and of course it is always hard reaching out to everyone within the community. Right now, I'm going to just quickly show you, we're fast running out of time, very quickly show you a little submission from our GoPio chapters from South Africa.
We are very happy to have with us our eminent Indian Drupat.
They seem to be having some issue with the sound, but I think they're fixing that.
Mr. Sanjay Kumar Malik, who expertise in Drupat style of Indian classical music, and today on our special demand is going to play Bhim Palasi and Raag Darbari. So very happy to be here. I congratulate fellow Indians and those who are following us on Facebook and live program, that please keep connected with us. As I keep saying, we are not letting you to be bored at home, and then we have variety of programs with us. Every week will come to you.
So there you are, ladies and gentlemen, a message there from our GoPio chapters in, that's from Johannesburg. I'm sorry we cannot go into the program itself. It's a very nice classical Indian program in Raag Bhim Palasi, as he was mentioning, that's happening. Talking about rags and everything today, we pay tribute to someone who has been a guru, and he has departed for the heavenly abode, and respectability and most ultimate reverence, originally from Fiji and his roots in India and being in Australia for the past few decades. We are talking about Sri Ambika Nanji. As we know, he was a regular visitor to our radio station, coming there with some of the views which he had, some very strong views. I know that many in the community, at many times might not have agreed to his views. But let's listen to a very, we'll play a beginning part of that little interview that he had in our studios with Rajni at that time. So we pay tribute to Guru Ambika Nanji, and his small funeral under the current circumstances will be tomorrow at Waikol from 1 till about 3 p.m. been an author, he's been a songwriter, he's written very book. This is the topic which
नमस्कार
we
दोस्तों,
covered in
आप
our.
सुन रहे हैं रजनी को ऑस्ट्रेलियन इंडियन रेडियो पे। और दोस्तों, रेडियो पे हम हमेशा एक अच्छी पर्सनालिटी के साथ बात करते हैं, बहुत सारे कम्युनिटी में होने वाले कार्यक्रम की जानकारी भी देते हैं। बट आज मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगी कि रेडियो पे आज हम बात करने वाले हैं रिटायर्ड ट्रांसलेटर, प्रोड्यूसर, प्रेजेंटर, जो कि फीजी ब्रॉडकास्टिंग कमीशन में थे और साथ ही साथ हिंदी एंड कल्चरल टीचर ऑफ ऋषिकुल सनातन कॉलेज में भी थे। ये फीजी की बहुत ही जानी मानी हस्ती है दोस्तों, और आज इनसे हम ढेरों बातचीत करने वाले हैं। और अंबिका जी, सबसे पहले तो मैं आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत करती हूँ ऑस्ट्रेलियन इंडियन रेडियो के स्टूडियो में।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया रजनी जी, नमस्कार।
नमस्कार आपको भी। तो आज सबसे पहले तो हम आपकी निजी जिंदगी के बारे में जानना चाहेंगे, आपके बारे में जानना चाहेंगे।
अच्छा। मेरा जन्म एक गांव में हुआ, फीजी में।
जी जी।
साधारण गांव, रा जिले में बरोतू गांव है, वहाँ पर जन्म हुआ और साधारण शिक्षा पाई स्कूलों में। फिर वहाँ से मरीश ब्रदर्स हाई स्कूल गया। लेकिन एक सौभाग्य रहा, मैं बोलूँगा, कि जब मैं रेडियो फीजी में शामिल हुआ 1974 में, तो मेरी हिंदी बहुत ठीक नहीं थी। अब बहुत परिश्रम करना पड़ा। हिंदी में सबसे कठिन बात है लिंगों के बारे में पता लगाना, अमुक संज्ञा स्त्रीलिंग है या पुल्लिंग है। हाँ, एक बार मुझे डांट लगी थी, मिश्र जी ने बोला रेडियो पर, अचानक एक खबर आई कि नंगाली पुल पर बाढ़ का पानी चढ़ा हुआ है ना, और वो सड़क सभी यातायात के लिए बंद हो गई है। सड़क, मुझे बोलना चाहिए सड़क बंद हो गई है। तो मैंने कह दिया रेडियो पर कि वो नंगाली पुल पर बाढ़ का पानी होने के कारण वो सड़क सभी यातायात के लिए बंद हो गया है। इतना के लिए दूसरे दिन मिश्रा जी के सामने खड़ा होना पड़ा। उन्होंने पूछा ये सड़क मर्दाना कैसे हो गई। हाँ,
तो यहीं से आपको लगा कि आपको अपनी हिंदी को
सुधारने की आवश्यकता, बहुत बड़ी आवश्यकता। तो सौभाग्य था हमारा कि हमारे डिप्टी जनरल मैनेजर दिवाकर प्रसाद भारत गए थे। तब वहाँ पर उन्होंने ऑल इंडिया रेडियो से बातें की कि अगर हम अपने कर्मचारियों को भेजेंगे इंडिया हिंदी सीखने के लिए, तो हम पर खर्च बहुत अधिक हो जाएगा।
जी जी।
वेरी एक्सपेंसिव। तो ऐसी व्यवस्था की गई कि उन लोगों ने वहाँ से व्याकरण के एक विशेषज्ञ पंडित पांडे साहब को उन्होंने भेजा यहाँ, विश्वनाथ पांडे। वही मेरे हिंदी के गुरु थे। वहाँ से 1979 से 3 साल तक वो फीजी में थे, और हम लोग दिन में तो अन्य कर्मचारियों के साथ व्याकरण सीखता रहा। लेकिन इसके अलावा मैंने जब देखा, वो भोजपुर के थे, भोजपुरी भाषा बहुत 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 सुंदर ढंग से बोलते थे। हम लोग तो नहीं उस तरह बोल पाते, और उनके पास भोजपुरी, अवधी और ब्रज भाषा, मैथिली, ये जो पुरानी भाषाएं जिससे हमारी मातृभाषा हिंदी बनी है, इन भाषाओं का वे बहुत विद्वान थे। अथाह ज्ञान था उनके पास। तो मैंने ऐसी व्यवस्था की उनसे कि हफ्ते में एक दिन आप चुने, जिस किसी दिन आप आए, घरे भोजन बनाया जाएगा और मैं कुछ पैसे भी दूंगा। 3 आवर्स, 3 घंटे, अंग्रेजी में कहते हैं प्राइवेट ट्यूशन। हाँ, वो मुझे व्याकरण सिखाते थे, और मैं खास रूप से अवधी भोजपुरी बहुत अधिक उसे सीखना चाहता था, क्योंकि फीजी में लोकगीत बहुत चलता है। स्त्रियां गाती हैं, जलसा बड़ा नीक लागे।
तो जी हाँ श्रोताओं, इस वार्तालाप को हम यहीं पर छोड़ते हैं क्योंकि समय का भी अभाव है। और we know that he was a very, very well known through Hindustani classical, the musician, an ardent reader, a teacher, his phenomenal knowledge in history, religion and politics, Guruji, has been a passion for everyone to look upon. He has been to my other studios before, not only the radio studio at home when we had a recording studio, and we recorded many of his jokes, also some of his folk songs. So I will find those from the archives and we will bring them to you on the radio. By the way, we will be going through our archives and bringing out so much we have in the library. It's just getting the time to find everything and compile and bring them together. So we have lost a library of information, a loving and caring human being, and he will be dearly missed and fondly remembered by all of us. May his departed soul rest in peace. So ladies and gentlemen, with that, I need to say goodbye from the south from today until tomorrow. It's been wonderful having your company, and looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. And as I have said before, if you have any topic that you'd like to discuss on the program, quite happy to have you on the program. The next, we are bringing some very wonderful and some very important guests on the show very, very soon as well. And we'll bring to you that update and that report of the property market to you all very soon. And on this day also we remember, on this day we also remember my father-in-law, late Mr. Sundar Lalji, who passed away. And of course, on these kind of days we do pay remembrance, and even his segment as well we will bring one day, because there's so much that he did in the music scene, in the scene of the community work as well. So we will bring that to him as well. So right now, it's goodbye from me. Until tomorrow, see you then.